Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We are back in the Toyota GR86, this time at Sonoma Sports Car alternative layout for yet another track guide. Now this guide is primarily for the open setup series, which is the production car, and as such, if you want to race the exact setup being driven by Gianni Lutzu in this track guide, you can go to our website sambosetups.com, or you can go to our Patreon page. There are links to both in the description. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and as always, we're going to do a hot lap, then a breakdown lap, then we will be back in the cockpit one final time the driving line on. Also, check out Gianni Lutzu's coaching website. He's well worth it if you want to improve. Let's go. Into turn one. So once we get to this bridge, we're going to get on the brakes lightly at first, but then increasing the pressure, we're going to drop it down to second, just getting our right hand tires over the curve there. Now we're going to move back over to the right hand side. We're staying in third as we come into this little dab on the brakes. Same again to get through the second part of it. And now as we get to the end of the curbing, on the brakes up to about 70%. Classic trail off, quite short though. Back on the gas in second gear. And now we're going to head over to the right hand side to open up turn 7. As we come up and over the crest, we're going to take quite an inside line. And just holding the brakes initially about 30-40% and then trailing it off smoothly back on the gas in third gear. It is a corner that feels like it goes on forever. Right. Sharp turn 9, so we're going to get on the brakes just as we start those billboards, and we're going to come really far away from where you think the track actually is, carrying a lot more speed doing that. Now obviously in a race, if you've got someone trying to pass you, you're opening the door there, but in terms of the fastest way around this track, that's certainly it. Now we're just doing little lifts as we go through the wibbly wobbly turns 11 through 14 and 15. As we get to turn 16, we do a little dab on the brakes, otherwise we'd end up far too wide. And now we're looking to get back on the brakes one final time, up to about 80%, long trail off, down to first gear, don't hit those bollards on exit. And we're going to get nice and tight to the wall at turn 18 here. And over and across we go in a 1:44.2. We have the breakdown lap coming up next. So as we go underneath this bridge, we're going to start getting on the brakes and we're literally going to roll onto them. So we get up to almost 60%. Now we're going to trail it off down to second gear. We want our right hand tires just clipping this curbing here on the right. And ideally, if you've gotten on the gas early enough, you're going to be all the way out here. And now we're going to head over to the right-hand side. We're going to leave it in third gear. As we get to the end of this curb on the right-hand side, we're going to turn in and lightly go on the brakes. So you're basically not slowing the car. You're just making sure that the weight is over these front tires. And it's going to grip up now as we go into this little dip. So you can actually go in there much faster than you think you're going to. Now at this first curb, we're going to get back on the gas. We reach 100%, and as soon as we do that, we're lightly on the brakes again. Again, we're not slowing the car down. We're just changing the balance, get the weight over the front tires so they grip in and turn. And just as we're clipping the second apex of this little uphill chicane, back on the gas. Now, just as we get to the Coca-Cola sign, because that might be easier for you to see, or the end of the curbs here, as you can see, we start getting on the brakes. We do hit nearly 75%, and it's just going to be a classic trail off. We start getting back on the gas at that little apex here of turn 5. We reach 100%. We want to be all the way out here so that we can cut back in. So now as we get to the crest and this little Marshall slot on the right hand side, this is when we're going to come off the gas and we're going to get on the brakes. So it's about 35-40%. And we're just slowly going to trail that off. We want this inside line, but we don't want to be too tight to the inside because we want to start increasing our pressure on the throttle now so that we get to 100% exactly where I am. Because it does look like quite a wide exit, but it does feel like it tightens once you're actually in it. Now this is a tricky braking point to sort of gauge. Now in my head it was always in the peripheral as I got alongside this black thing. I think, does it say fitness? Don't know. I will tell you in a moment. So once that disappears, that's, yeah. So basically, I was just looking for that in my peripheral. You can see it now. It says Pit Boss, not Fitness. So, yeah, in my head, as soon as that was coming alongside, I was on the brakes. And again, up to about 75%. And we're just going to clip that first sort of curb, but we're not looking to keep it inside what you would think are the track limits, because this is America and track limits aren't a thing. So you come all the way out here, and now we're able to get on the gas nice and early, and you're going to feel that extra pace all the way down this wibbly wobbly straight. I think I just like saying wibbly wobbly. And we're just doing little lifts through these. Don't carry too much speed, because sometimes as you go from 12 to 13, you think, actually, I can carry that little bit more pace. But then you get to 14 here and 15, and then you just run off into that field. It's very upsetting. Right, for turn 16, just as we get to this little apex out in front of me of the curving, that's when we're going to get on the brakes up to about 35–40%. Going to trail that off, drop it down to 4th, and start getting back on the gas on the curving on the inside here of 16. And again, you can't go too early, otherwise you end up out here in the sand. And in terms of when we get on the brakes, so this is the pit entrance you can see ahead, and you can see the cross-hatch lines. It's basically as soon as we get to the solid line up ahead that we start getting on the brakes. And again, initially up to about 80%, and we're just going to hold it around 75. Then we're going to trail it off, and we start picking back up on the gas in first gear once you're pointing at these small buildings up ahead. And that shall conclude the breakdown lap of the Toyota GR86 at Sonoma Raceway using the Sports Car alternate layout. We have one final version coming up next with the driving line on, but without me badgering you. So enjoy.